Ascension. Let's talk about it. So what is Ascension? Ascension isn't about leaving the planet. Ascension isn't about flying into heaven. It's not about being taken by aliens. It's not about watching the shift unfold online. Ascension is the conscious choice to be engaged in evolution. I am by no means an expert on this subject. I actually would really like other people that watch this video to help me out, to explain it more, to give me links to read on it more. I had a few questions, so if anybody watching this could actually help me with this, by all means, please help. A lot of the articles I read answer some of these, but I would like to know more in depth, and I would like to get it from different sources and see if there's different types of ascension and whatnot. So my first question is, how do we achieve ascension? Why do we accept our faiths? How do we expand as humans? What else is there? What is emotional intelligence? Because it ties in with ascension. How do I overcome myself to ascend? And why, in our modern day, do we allow ourselves to be subjected to stress, to jobs, to feel like we're useless, like we don't matter and we're wasteful? Why, as humans, do we decide to destroy everything? And that brings me on to my first topic. I was reading an article, or I was watching a TikTok, one of the two, and any information I pull my source from will either be in one of the corners or in the description below. So please go and check that out. I don't want to give any false information, so if you're curious to where I got my information, everything will be linked. I was watching a TikTok video, and it was around the lines of saying there has been 4 different dimensions that humans have lived in already. We are currently on our 5th one. Each dimension humans have lived on, we have destroyed. The first one was destroyed by fire. The second one was destroyed by wind. The third one was destroyed by earth, and the 4th one was destroyed by water. And this might line up, as you know, with the Ark, the Great Ark. I also watched another TikTok, and this one is for anybody else to go, oh, maybe that's true. Because me personally, I am too ignorant to make my own conclusion. But it said that every religion, Christian, Buddhism, Muslim, Catholic, Catholicism, any religion, and if I'm forgetting something, I apologize, because I know I am, but any religion on earth is actually not God. It's Satan. That is hard for me to understand as a Christian. Now here's why they say that. During the times of Adam and Eve, Satan was a serpent. It wasn't God telling Eve to eat the fruit. It was his intuition telling him that if he eats it, he will gain the knowledge the serpent, Satan, doesn't want him to awaken from. He will gain his 3rd eye. So when Eve ate the fruit, he gained his 3rd eye and understood that God is not God. It's Satan. And so that has transpired throughout our history. I'll take a moment. That's a lot to wrap your head around. I felt the same way when I watched it, though I watched the video. It's hard for me to understand. That's definitely hard for me to understand. It could be true, it could not be true. I'm ignorant. As a human, we are all ignorant. And please, the link will be in the description. Please read this article, okay? This article by Sandra Walter it's beautiful, it's awesome, and it captivates almost every aspect of Ascension. What I've gathered, Ascension is about ascending from our human desires, what makes us human. We ascend above that. Our videos, our video games, our greed, our hunger for money, our hunger of selfishness. We're supposed to transcend above that. Here's a perfect diagram right there. Okay, and here's another one right here. Now, what I've gathered, there's two different versions of Ascension, or they're one and the same but different paths. There's human ascension and then there's spiritual ascension. Here's a diagram for human, here's a diagram for spiritual. Now, as you can see in the diagram about humans, it appears to be different dimensions, right? And there is. As I said previously, we're on our 5th dimension that humans have lived in, that we can access. These dimensions are accessible by humans after they have ascended past the ego phase, as you see. Now, in the video I watched, when it was explained to me, it takes years. It could take your whole life to ascend past the ego stage. Once you get to the ego stage, then you go through something called the Great Awakening. This is something I'm also very ignorant on, and I would like to know more. So if anybody out there is watching this has information about the Great Awakening, I would really like to know, because I've been looking it up and trying to research it, and I cannot find the information I want to learn anywhere. But what I can gather from using context clues, the Great Awakening is when your spirit ascends the human body and goes through a change that wipes your slate clean, essentially. Once you realize that greed, selfishness, sexual desires, any of those things aren't what's important, your spirit transcends above that and goes to the next dimension. What I can see is these dimensions, although accessible by humans in their spirit realm, are typically made for higher powers, and our spirit can become a higher power. I fully believe that. I was having a discussion with my friend, and she said, okay, but what stops these dimensions from being destroyed? What stops these higher powers in these dimensions already from coming down, destroying other dimensions, or messing with humans? And I said, well, if humans can't access these other dimensions without transcending above themselves, then there's no way we can destroy them. And if the only way to get to these dimensions as a human is to ascend above ourselves, then that would mean that any other spirit, any other higher power in these different dimensions would no longer have a need for greed. They would no longer have a need for destruction. They have everything they want. They understand themselves, and so they exist peacefully. That's what I can gather. And then for her last question, I was like, well, yeah, that's true, and in some aspects these higher powers or these spirits or whatever they may be wouldn't feel the need to get involved with humans. But then I thought, in almost every religion, they talk about spirits. They talk about astral projection. They talk about different ways that you can become one with your spirit. And every time you try to, there's other spirits out there that want to try to negatively impact yourself so they can grab onto your spirit and make it evil. So I thought, what if these spirits are the spirits that existed in these other dimensions that are coming down to try to influence our spirits? Yeah, I don't know. I want to know. I'm too scared to try astral projection. I really want to try it. I'm ignorant on the subject, that's why I'm too scared. Every time I read or watch a video or read an article, it says, please, 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 please do not do this without experience. Otherwise, you may bring a spirit back to your body, and that is not good. So, I've held off on it, but I'm really curious about Ascension, because me as a person, I've always felt like there has to be something else. Why do we live the way that we live? Is this the best way to live? How many times have we tried to live, and every time as humans we've failed? Well, apparently we've destroyed 4 different dimensions that we lived in already. So what do? How do we transcend? How do we ascend above ourselves? Is that what monks do? I don't know. I need to know. I want to learn, because I want to ascend above myself. I don't want to be held down by everybody at the top forcing me to be held down, because I'm in a situation to where I need to go past that. I really truly believe that me as a person will be able to ascend past all of this around us. I really just can't wrap my head around why we live the way that we do. Why do we allow so much things to happen to us? Why do we allow our governments? Why do we allow the people at the top to basically make us slaves? Why do we go to work every single day for a currency made by those at the top, forcing us to work for them in order to live? Why do we do that? I don't get it. I've never understood it. And I've always felt a slight disconnect from people around me. And I've always struggled to talk about these things because, 1, I don't know how to articulate my words, and 2, I don't want to sound crazy. I don't know. I hope other people feel this way, and I hope that this video gets enough traffic that I can actually have some conversations with people about it. And if it doesn't, that's fine. This will just be my own personal journal. This will show my journey. This is the first video I've ever made about it. Will it blow up? I don't know. That's another thing that I need to ascend from, is trying to reach fame and fortune, because they don't matter. I should be happy with myself. I should be happy the way I live. I should be happy with the people in my life. I should be trying to find people that want to ascend with me, instead of hindering myself and bringing myself down because of my desires. It's hard to break a desire, but I don't know. You tell me. Do you agree? Do you have any information about Ascension or anything else that I've talked about in this video? Then please, please, please let me know. Put it in the comments. Feel free to message me on any social media. They will either be right here or linked below. Please reach out to me, because from one human to another, I really want to know. I want to know the secrets of life. Why? I just want to know why. Not enough people ask why. We get so evolved and we get so overwhelmed with everything going on in our lives that we forget to ask the important questions. We ask, what's going to get me the most money? We ask, what's going to stimulate my sexual needs? We don't ask the important questions anymore, and those who do are casted out. They're acted, we treat them like they're crazy. But those are the ones that are on the right path. Or at least I fully believe that. So I don't know. You tell me. Help me out. Because I'm a lost soul that needs to be curated to ascend over everything else. That's my one goal. So please help me. That being said, look y'all, I really enjoy making a video like this. I've never made something like this. I don't have all the facts. I don't have all the answers. And that's what's beautiful. And that's what's beautiful about this type of video. Because I don't have to go off a script. I don't have to hesitate what I'm gonna say. I already have all these emotions and all these feelings in trying to get these understandings. So if you're like me, let me know. If you've ever looked around and asked why, let me know. I would like to have an intellectual conversation with you about these topics and any other topic that I may not even know about yet. There's so much stuff to learn. And what I don't understand is how our brains are these beautiful, crazy computers that can understand, and they do all these different functions simultaneously, and we gain millions and millions of neurotransmissions throughout the day, and half of the time we don't even think about them. There has to be something else. There has to be something that we're missing, that I'm missing as a person. And I really want to find it out. So I'm going to do my research. And as much as people at the top want to try to block me, I'm going to try to find a way around it. Like a mentor. I don't know. Maybe nothing will come out of this, but I really hope something will. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. I had a great time talking. I hope you can connect with me, and I hope you can sympathize and empathize and have an understanding with how I'm feeling and some of the things that I discussed. I know I didn't talk about Ascension the most as I would like to, but I think with the information and the knowledge that I know now, that's about all I know. So yeah, I'm trying to understand and think about different viewpoints of Ascension that I may know, but I realize right now that that's all I know. So please help me not be ignorant. Share some information with me. I would like to know. With that being said, it's been your boy Jordan. I'm out. Peace. Here are the videos that got me interested and intrigued about Ascension.
I don't think everything is a distraction from pointless life. I think everything is a distraction from this. Ascension. Let's start at the bottom. So we begin as humans, right? And then we experience the end of ego. I believe the end of ego takes multiple lifetimes to truly get to. All of our distractions, our TV, our video games, our drama, is meant to keep us rooted here in ego, operating in a very human condition. When you realize that nothing matters, everything begins to feel mundane. And that's because you're meant for so much more. Think about it. Everything you've ever known is the human being at the bottom of this chart. Everything you have ever felt, everyone you've ever loved, everything you've ever cried over, that's all been experienced just from the human condition. But look at all of this. It seems silly to get stuck here at human being. But we do, because we think that this is all there is, so we get trapped in it. At the midway point of this chart is the end of the physical universe. We are truly limitless and uncontainable.